Okay, so the last 2 days have been a very easy um, transition into what is now going to be a little bit more complicated. So we're going back to the simple encryption activity. If you left off here, right? So you did encrypted samples 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the first part. So you're going to hit finished. You're going to hit continue. You're going to hit continue. And then you're getting to puzzle 4 of 6, which is letter frequencies, random substitution. So in Caesar substitution, we were just simply um, shifting the letters over and over, to different, A to B, B to C, etc. Right? Well, random substitution is a little more difficult, and it's really the uh, it's really a better way to encrypt something. Now, in today's day and age, you can even beat random substitution, but it'll take a little bit more work, and I'm going to show you how. So that's the point of this activity. So if we're at the Google form, I haven't put in the answers yet. I'm building the Google form, but I am going to show you in the encrypted sample one what letter is used for A in the encrypted message. So this is how you do it. Okay. What you are looking at here is the frequency of letters being used in the original message, which is here. So actually, let's switch over to the encrypted sample one. This is what we're talking about, right? So the original message is here, and then standard English. So how often letters are used in everyday English language? So for instance, the letter A, the, is, it, as, of, etc. Okay. The THE is probably the most commonly used. Um, and if you go back to, and this goes back to the Enigma in World War II, where the Germans were encoding their messages, but it was actually cracked by a computer made by Alan Turing, and he was able to do it because he entered in Heil Hitler. The Germans always used Heil Hitler. So every time they sent a correspondence at the bottom, it said Hail Hitler. And they put those letters into the computer and they were able to decipher the code. And that's basically exactly what you're going to do here. So right off the bat, looking at this is kind of confusing. So let's do percentage, right? So sort originals by percent, right? So now I have G in this message is the most commonly used, and KP, etc., etc., etc. And I'll do the same thing for standard English. So we'll go by percent. And now most likely G is E, K is T, P is A, U, most likely, right? So we're now going to assign that. So now we're going to change what you see here to what's down here. So let's assign it, right? So now we're looking, it's still encrypted. So it's not exactly G is E, K is T, P is A. It's not exactly as you see it here, right? So we have to go further in our deciphering of this code. So if you look at the code, like here's a 3-letter word, here's a 2-letter word, here's a 3-letter word, right? But I see TSE, I see TSE, TSE, TSE. Okay, the S is probably H. So we'll start with that because the, like I just told you, is one of the most commonly used. So let's find S, no, it says TSE, so that was K, and then S is okay, R is S, I guess, right? So we're going to move this here, and this here. Now it's the. Um, so it changed all of these to the. Okay. Um, so with that, okay, it's still coded. It's not perfect, right? Um, but over here, we can pretty much bank that the is correct, right? And this is what I'm saying. Letter frequency, the is probably correct, and then you have under over here. So we're getting somewhere, okay? But we're still not completely there. But we can pretty much say T, H, and E are correct. So if we go to the second word here, okay, we know the T is correct, okay? Is the G, O, and the G correct? Okay, well, we're gonna find out, right? We'll start picking this apart. I couldn't really tell you. I mean, this could be Y could be W, so was I don't know, right? And then we're still I don't know what that it's definitely not G, right? I'm looking at this and I'm thinking out, right? So your vocabulary is going to become important here, but let's assume that G is U just to test it. Right, so let's take the G, which is here, okay, and we're going to move it to the U. So we're going to put the U here, okay, we'll put the G there. Okay, so we got out, out, no, I mean NO, but I don't know if that's right. Now here, this has now revealed itself. Because this word is definitely backwater. It's just not correctly. It's not ordered correctly. Like you kind of unscramble it, but I could see where the letters are. So let's put W where C is. Where's the C? Okay, back. Oh, waters. So S has got to move. Yeah. Okay. And now it's starting to become clear. So, uncharted. So L becomes D. Oop, did I mess up? I did mess up. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now I know Y is F because it would be far out in the uncharted backwaters. Okay, and it might take you a little bit longer as a student because, if you're not a strong reader, I'm a strong reader. I have a vast vocabulary, so this is actually very. Once you start to uncode it, the bigger your vocabulary is, the easier it is to do. So it might take you a minute, but you do have to do. This is how you do it. Far out in the uncharted backwaters of the unfashionable end of the western spiral, spiral, spiral. Okay, 92 billion. No, 92 million. Yeah, because there's a G here and a G here, so G is M. So let's move that. Yeah, 92 million miles. Try backwards and fashionable. Western. It's not spiral. Spiral? Let's try spiral. Let's try spiral. So move G. There you go. Spiral arm of the galaxy for sure. J, X, boom. Galaxy lies a small, unregarded yellow sun. They're talking about our sun. Orbiting this at a distance of roughly 92 million miles. It is an utterly insignificant little blue-green planet, that's us, whose ape-descended life forms are also amazingly, so J is now, oh, Z is Z. Z is itself, and that can happen. Amazingly primitive that we still think digital watches are a pretty neat idea. Okay, so it goes on, and that's it. We pretty much that's it. We have decoded. I don't see anything else that's messed up. But as far as what we need, right? Here's P is A, right? So the letter P stands for A. And that's the answer to the question. That's what we were looking for. And now that it's completely uncoded, we know that that's true, right? So I'll actually put the answer right now. Actually, let's set this up as a quiz and make this a quiz. I don't want you to see the correct answers unless you've done it correctly. Save it. Answer key. So this is going to be, the correct answer is P or lowercase p, whichever one you put in, and it's going to be 25 points for each. Okay, so there you go. That's how you're going to do this, and then you'll do encrypted 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you will answer the following the questions as I put them in. And once you submit your form, that will automatically, I'll be able to check that automatically through the form. So this is actually going to take you a hot minute because this is going to be a little bit of work, but I want you to practice it because, like, essentially, like when you start talking about hacking magic and being able to, do some coding and break a code or decrypt something, this is actually the work of hacking. When you're actually talking about real hacking, this is what you're doing. So give it some practice and let's see what you come up with.